Hi, Stan.
Hello.
Nice
hello.
seeing you.
Nice seeing you. Thank you so much.
New Year, Chinese New Year,
Thank you.
and also the Spring Festival.
Thank you.
Today is the last day.
It's a wonderful festival. I've really enjoyed being in China for that.
Yes. So in China, we have happy time. However, in America, we know that at the moment, a lot of federal workers are suffering. They lost their job.
Yeah, from what I understand, there's a cleanup program that President Trump refers to it as, and he's offered deferred compensation to approximately, I think it affects probably over 1 million U.S. federal employee positions.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, a Boston judge had put a temporary freeze on those positions, but he released it this past month. So it could affect potentially millions of American federal workers. And from what I understand, about 75,000 American workers have so far accepted that deferred compensation package.
Yeah. So in that situation, I know that you are now living in China. If this kind of thing happened in China, what would happen? A lot of people would say not fair.
Of course, yeah. But, and a lot of people are saying that in America. So.
Yeah, but this kind of thing would never happen in China because the system is different.
Right. Yeah.
So I know that you've been government official or the state government official in America.
Yes.
Years ago. So in your experience, what would you think about those who lost their job at the moment? Would they be reinstated again?
Yeah, it was. I worked for the state of Florida for a state agency,
right?
And that actually happened to me, and it was pretty scary. I mean, I didn't get the deferred compensation package. My employment was safe, but it was pretty scary, and I saw a lot of people go. I can't remember they were terminated. I can't remember the number that were terminated, but a lot of those people, it's like they were cleaning house, reviewing employee positions, and then they brought a lot of those people back. Fortunately. With respect to this, with President Trump's order, hopefully what will happen is a lot of those people will be brought up. He just wants to clean house. They did find an amazing amount of corruption and billions of U.S. taxpayer money being spent on programs that didn't benefit American citizens whatsoever. So that, makes sense to me, but such a broad sweep, of course I worry about the employees. They have families, have children. How will they cope with this? So that's my big concern.
Yeah, I also concerned about the morale of those who will remaining working with the government. I mean, the federal or the state government.
Absolutely, and as I mentioned, what I experienced, it was terrifying. Because I had family, I had children, and what am I going to do? I would have been okay eventually, but during those moments, a lot of people didn't have a job at that point. So it's I can have compassion for these people and concerned about them, of course.
Yes, I'm also concerned about the probationary staff. They just sacked without giving any reason. So I think from the perspective of fairness, I don't think it is fair.
Yeah. The probationary employees in America, there's generally there's an employment contract, of course, and it's usually a two-year period where they can be terminated, but there has to be a reason given. So recently, a court has reversed some of those terminations. I don't think it were many, but it could help thousands of probationary federal employees.
Yeah. So the system itself would more or less tedious in terms of waiting, in terms of court challenging, and so on and so forth. But unlike America, we won't have this kind of situation or issues in China.
Right.
How would you compare, if I may ask you? Yeah,
that's kind of a tough question for me because I've never really worked in China before and haven't been dependent on on China economically or financially. But yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, China's been an amazing place to live. I mean, I'm always surprised. I learn something new every day. The people, everything's so friendly, it's safe, it's comfortable, it's convenient, so modern. It's just incredible how modern China is compared to America. But yeah, unfortunately, I've never seen it at this level, so broad in America. I never imagined this happening. So it's good that something like this will never happen in China.
Yeah, I think in China we aim at social stability and also the morale and the comfortabilities of workers and so on. But at the moment, as I can see in America, everyone being concerned about their job, their future, and so on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So how would you feel? And also, have you heard anything from your peers in America?
I have not heard. I mean, I worked for a state government, but I was an environmental attorney. I worked for the Department of Environmental Protection and Fish and Wildlife. So I dealt with environmental issues. I was never really politically integrated, so I don't really have political context in America. But I can reach out to some people and think, I haven't really been following too closely. I see what's going on. I don't have the data. I know that there was a lot of corruption and a lot of taxpayer money being lost to non-U.S. citizens, or the citizens were not getting it. So yeah. But one thing I have to say, with China really takes care of its people. I mean, there's just no question.
It's a totally different environment and scenario.
Completely. I agree.
So in that sort of situation, how would you look forward to having Elon Musk working together with Trump? In future, whether or not it will jeopardize the situation of China in future?
I have to say, when I first heard that Donald Trump had hired Elon Musk to help him with his election, I was very optimistic, and I'm still optimistic that Elon Musk will, I don't want to say convince him, but work with him to improve relations between China and America. Elon Musk understands China. He's lived in China, or he stayed in China for extended periods of time. His mother stays here. They both love China. And he understands the economy, and he understands that, that the two countries should be working together. They could benefit greatly with improved relations.
Okay. Maybe on that point, may I shift on to other issues? How and to what extent that makes you coming to work and more or less living in China in that regard?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's very optimistic. I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing the United States and China improve relations, and with Elon Musk, it would be wonderful.
Yeah. So in that sort of situation, I know that when I say work in China, in fact, you are more or less serving your seafood as if you were his son. Yeah. Like a family. So
of course.
Would you mind to tell our audience about this?
Yeah.
Your happy family life.
Yeah. When I was 5 years old, I saw a television show on China, and I've always loved China. It's just something in me. I don't know why, but I was trying to do the characters when I was a child, and just loved the poems and the customs and traditions, and of course martial arts. And then when I was 19 years old, Sifu was teaching in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I lived close by. So just by chance, I found him. And it started taking Wing Chun Kung Fu then. It was 1981, 19 years old. Yeah. So long ago. And but during that time, he just taught me so many things about life, and things that I would never thought about. And I've always followed those principles, and it's helped me greatly. So probably 8 years ago, I was trying to, I just wanted to come see Sifu and just, thank him. I had not talked to him in a number of years, and then when I met up with him in Los Angeles, July 2023, we just had so many great conversations. And he was ill, and I was trying to take care of him, and we just got very close. And so he had invited me that I should come visit Zhuhai. So it's just been an amazing relationship. And yeah, I've always kind of thought of him. He's Sifu, teacher father. So I've always considered him like a father, and especially now because he's just an amazing person that's done so much more than just Kung Fu. So
yeah, it's a very inspiring story.
Well, it benefits me greatly. I'm a better person for knowing him. So
I was told by Sifu that he more or less educate you guys in not only teaching you how to sort of protect yourself, not being hit or hurt by the others, strangers. But on the other hand, he is promoting Chinese tradition and Chinese culture.
Absolutely.
So would you elaborate to our audience?
Yeah, he has many different examples, but it's basically a lot of what we learn, especially the new martial artists, is how to cover ourselves, how to protect ourselves. And it's like he talks about the Chinese tradition and custom to, China doesn't go to war, China protects itself, and just, wants to be left alone. And that's kind of the theme with how he teaches. It's very nice.
Yeah. So if you got a chance to visit your hometown back to America, what would be the first sentence you want to tell your friends about China?
Oh, it's an amazing place. I mean, it really is. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, just it's so peaceful here. It's so convenient and modern, and just it's there's always propaganda. Every country has propaganda, and I didn't really hear all these things about China before I came here the first time. And then when I got here, I was, I was so surprised. I was like, I had to admit, I was a little nervous coming to China because of things here in America. But then when I got here, I was kind of upset. And so since then, I'm always looking for venues and opportunities to improve relations between China and America, and educate Americans on how great China is.
I see. Thanks so much,
Absolutely.
Dan. I think it's a great time to talk to you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.
Likewise.
Thank you again. Thank you.
I would like to introduce you to some of my good friends who are also foreigners.
Wonderful.
This part of the world.
Wonderful.
And I'm very sure that they would like to meet you as well.
That'd be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye. 再见. Bye-bye.
Bye.